Hello, my name's Clare from Conscious Chemo, and here I am up in the Lake District between my 14th and 15th round of treatment for a stage 3 HER2 positive aggressive breast cancer, which was discovered last August. It's now July, so nearly a year on. And the word I'd like to talk about in this video is temporary. So that's another word that I found really useful, that it's a phase. And if you're taking one day at a time, then every day becomes temporary, really. Everything's in a process of constant flux, constant change, nothing's fixed. We can move through things, but we can only really move through things if we are practicing non-inner resistance. So the more we resist, it persists. So if we can allow it to fall away, to try and come from a place of non-resistance and allow it, then I think it's easier to navigate the journey. And when you can appreciate that it's going to be temporary, then that really helps you along that path. So even if you've had a stage 4 diagnosis, so that can kind of contradict the word temporary, there's still so much you can do to support your body. So each moment is temporary. So let's say you're having some side effects to a medication, that can be temporary. Let's say you're having a moment of negativity and really, feeling angry or deflated, or it's not fair, which is completely understandable. That feeling can be temporary. So there's always something to acknowledge, observe, and then let it pass. And know that really is part of the journey. So we're returning to a place of centre as often as possible to make every day as the best it can possibly be. And that's all we can do. So it's trying to catch the mind, which projects into the future, that then creates this dialogue in our minds that disturbs our inner peace in that moment. So there's that famous quote, isn't there, that worrying about tomorrow takes away today's peace. And of course, it's hard not to worry about tomorrow when we're dealing with something that has been labelled and handed down through the generations as something that's so fearful. However, it is true that all we have in this life is this moment, this particular moment. And I could be somewhere worrying in fear, worrying about the future, what may and will it be, the fact that it might not have gone or it could come back. But instead, I'm choosing to be here on top of a mountain in the Lake District, on my own, and just feeling amazing. So I'm having a blood test when I get home from here to rule out ovarian cancer because of some symptoms I've been having during treatment, and I don't believe I've got it, but I'm not letting that disturb my inner peace. And whatever happens, right now I'm feeling great. So the word temporary, I think, has been helpful for me in not thinking that this is the end, this is the be all and the end all. It's a phase. There's a very famous Buddhist quote, "This too will pass." And that's another quote that's really been helpful for me on this journey. So I hope you found those words of use too. Remember, the mind will wander, it will take you off the path, it will instill feelings of fear and anxiety. The practice is to watch that, observe it, and then draw yourself gently with love, kindness and compassion back to your centre, back to home, back to this moment, which is all you have. It's a practice, which is why people meditate and do mindfulness, and you can access lots of those types of things on Spotify and YouTube. So I hope that's helped. Thank you so much for listening, and wishing you all the very best of luck on your healing journeys and paths. Sending love.